All right, happy Friday, constituents. Representative Jeff Burton coming to you from the State House. Happy to talk to you about the end of week 4 and the things that are going on here. Again, as I've said, it's a fast and feverish pace. We move quickly getting through these issues so that we can accomplish everything in 45 days. A couple of things I've worked on this past week, just passed a bill through both the House and the Senate committees for drug enforcement. And it's important for you to know that because we've seen a huge increase in drugs coming to the state of Utah on I-80 and I-15, I-215 as well. And so what this bill does is provides 10 more state troopers. We merged it with another bill that Senator Stevenson was running that provides 8 Special Bureau of Investigation investigators and then 2 social workers to work on victims of the drug seizures. We're very concerned about the quantities we're seeing of fentanyl, meth, heroin, and marijuana, illicit marijuana that is, coming through the state. And we're also seeing that being part of the intoxicated driving problem that we're having. So this is a monumental bill. It will be paid for totally with alcohol proceeds money, and it won't cost taxpayers a cent more. And it's a good bill. The other thing I think you need to be aware about, if you're not following it, we talk about water all the time in Utah and how important it is, but a very important bill, Senate Bill 119, I'm co-sponsoring with Senator McKell. I'll be his House floor sponsor. That is an attempt to just ensure that we are competitive with the other lower basin states in the Colorado River. You may know that the water agreements were made at the beginning of the 20th century, and the water that they agreed to doesn't exist anymore based on our drought conditions. So we're fortifying ourselves to make sure that we can stave off any lawsuits from other states and ensuring that we have the water we need coming out of the Colorado for the future. And then finally, tax cuts. That's heavy on our agenda. We're still talking about it and fleshing out exactly how we're going to do this. But what we've decided based on your input through state and district surveys is the majority of you want income tax relief. And then the other thing I mentioned, I think last week, we currently don't tax state tax on Social Security for those who make $40,000 or less. We're talking to raising that to $80,000 in a way to get more people eligible for that. And then finally, property tax has been a real challenge this year. And one of the things we're going to do is build an audit for assessors, because we found a lot of irregularities in how county assessors assess your property value, even in the same neighborhood. And so we feel like we need to do an audit on that and find out exactly how that's determined. And so with that, of course, there's a lot more going on up here, but that's kind of a synopsis of what I've been engaged in this week. We really care about your issues. I appreciate the calls. I feel a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts, and many of you have come up to see me. I encourage you to get in touch with me. I'd love to have you sit on the floor with me and kind of see how this process works up at the state capitol. With that, have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.